This is In Touch, news and information from the KLIF News Team, Briar College.
There is no altitude.
Hello and welcome to In Touch. I'm Nathan Cass.
And I'm Julie Weeder. They're digging up pieces of a historical puzzle just outside the Sioux City limits. Reporter Aaron Lenning explains how progress sometimes has to be delayed in order to explore the past.
Archaeologists from around the country have come to Sioux City to dig up ancient tribal remains. The Highway 75 bypass project is the location for the dig because all construction projects receiving federal or state funding must be searched for historical remains. Project archaeologist Toby Morrow says the people he has hired have all received a college education.
These are professional working archaeologists. Most of them have at least completed their BA or BS degree in anthropology or a related field. I've even got a few people with master's degrees working for me, but that's what these people do for a living. That's their job.
For one worker, this site is the largest and most detailed he has worked with.
A lot of what we do is survey work in advance of highway construction, and unfortunately we don't get to dig sites this interesting that often.
The Great Oasis tribe wants settled here. Crew Field Chief Ron Mayer says the site is challenging to work with.
When you can get a isolated village site like this that's only been occupied for 100 years or so, what we think has been, you get a lot of good information. We're just putting a small piece to a big puzzle together at a time here, and we'll see what happens at the end, how much of the puzzle we put together.
After the archaeologists finish digging up this site in July, it will be turned over to the Iowa Department of Transportation, where they will continue work on the Highway 75 bypass project. That project is expected to be completed in the year 2001. Near Sioux City, Aaron Lenning, KLIF TV News.
Along with its recent makeover, the Sioux City City Hall building has also achieved some technological advances. Twelly has the details in this report.
As you might have noticed the facelift on City Hall, you only saw the outside features. Inside is a state-of-the-art audio-visual technology, which features remote control cameras, video editing, audio editing, and touchscreen controls. The person in charge of this equipment is Training Director Cindy O'Kane.
The idea behind it was to establish a state-of-the-art system for viewing council meetings in particular. And I don't know if you can see all of this. Maybe I should move this way. Sorry. But we have a system here that is hooked up to 5 cameras on the council chambers, hooked to what we call the bus. The system is hooked directly to Swain cable comm, so we can broadcast the council meetings. And it's supposed to be really state-of-the-art. I'm kind of a novice at this. But what we can do is we can pick up anything anywhere in the council chambers. Whereas before, when we broadcast council meetings, there was one camera. We had to haul it around. The news stations can come in and plug into our audio and visual hookups out there, so they don't have to haul cameras here. They just plug their pack in out there. And it's really a good system as far as broadcasting the council meetings, because you can switch. We have a Chiron system that puts their names up there. It's just a really fun system. And like I said, I don't know everything there is to know about it, but it sure is a lot of fun. So the system is hooked up to 5 cameras out there. What shows up on that picture, that's the live camera. This is the setup camera. What shows up out there shows up also on the big screen. We have a big screen projector out there, and the council members have individual projectors, because we also have an overhead camera, or document cameras, so when someone has something that they want to show to the council, they can lay it down on the desk out there, and it projects on the big screen, and it projects on a monitor. Usually we had little slides, or we'd hold up pictures, and it was very difficult to see. So it's really a state-of-the-art broadcast center.
O'Kane says the newly installed audiovisual technology is so advanced they've yet to learn its full capabilities. This is Twelly, KLIF Television News at City Hall.
For campus news, members of the Briarcliff College community are expected to see many changes to the campus within 18 months. Kelly Townsend has the details in this report.
Briarcliff College's long-anticipated Student Center designs are completed. A member of the new Student Center committee, Bob Fuller, says that because of the concerns from students and faculty, the original designs were sent back. The current designs for the Student Center are a vast improvement, according to Fuller, and have been accepted by those who have seen it.
Well, if you were to show it before and after, you would see a considerable difference in the makeup of the buildings. The prior sketches that we had, the building looked almost like a bank. I heard someone say it looked like a mall. And we sat down with the architect and said we really want something that's going to fit into the architecture that we have here on campus. And I think we got that with the new sketches, with the new design, because it really does fit and looks like it belongs on the campus. The plans right now, there's going to be a variety of things in there. Obviously, a new eating area, a new cafeteria, a new kitchen. We're looking at some kind of something like a pub, maybe a sports bar kind of thing. There'll be student lounges in there, campus mailroom, art gallery, student activities offices, and then down on the end of it, we're going to put a multi-purpose room so we can do a lot of different kinds of events into that one room.
During the campaign rally, Briarcliff College showed the new designs of the Student Center and the Capital Campaign video to help those who were in attendance to donate money to help pay for the cost of building the new Student Center and the renovations. An endowment fund would be given to pay for the maintenance of the new Student Center building. Kelly Townsend, KLIF TV News.
In recent years, people have become more aware of the growing need to preserve a clean environment. Some Briarcliff students pitched in to do their part to make sure the earth will last a long time. Amy Tishak reports.
I'm out here on Highway 12 where students from Briarcliff College are participating in the highway cleanup sponsored by Vision. There are 12 students this year who came out to volunteer their time to clean up the environment.
Tim Bosler, the coordinator, said Vision sponsors the cleanup twice a year, but he is impressed with the turnout this spring.
Yeah, I was really surprised at the amount of people who showed up to come today. I was expecting about 8, but it looks like about 11 or 12 came to pick up trash with us.
Another volunteer, Mary LeBron, had some spare time in her day, so she put it to good use.
I just feel like I'm doing something, like I should help, I don't know, clean up the mess that other people are making.
One of the volunteers said she feels it is important to clean up the environment because the garbage stays around for a long time.
Everybody is service, a public is service announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Clean up the trash, clean up after you. Some of this garbage is going to be here long after you and I are decomposed. It will not be. Thank you.
Everyone who came out today put in hard work, but also had a good time enjoying the nice sunny day. The trash the volunteers picked up was put into large orange bags and later collected.
It proved to be a successful day for those who volunteered their time to participate in the highway cleanup. It seems to me they did a pretty good job out here of cleaning up their part of the highway. Amy Tishak, KLIF TV News.
Sioux City will be getting something that the youth community has been asking for a long time. Reporter Aaron Lennig tells us the city will be building its first skateboard park soon.
Skateboarders in Sioux City have been taking their trade to places where the city has prohibited them to, namely the Anderson Dance Pavilion. Now the city is working on a plan that will bring a skateboard park to ease that problem. The pavilion has received damage from the wear and tear from the skateboards. Sioux City Mayor Tom Padgett says the city is hoping the park will deter those skaters from skating in prohibited areas.
A lot of the skateboarders and the inliners are saying, if we can't go here, where else can we go? And so we can keep them away from downtown buildings. Hopefully we can keep them away from the pavilion and so forth by saying there is a facility that's dedicated to your sport.
The location being approved for the new park is the site of the former SYA softball complex at I-29 and Hamilton Boulevard. The city had 3 plans to choose from, ranging in price from $100,000 to $250,000. The city chose the least expensive of the 3 and has designed the park around the skaters' wants.
There were 4 or 5 pieces of equipment that were suggested to us approximately a year and a half ago. and they've kind of built around those, what I guess many consider kind of basic pieces of apparatus, and I'm not a skateboarder or inliner, so I can't tell you whether they're the best things on earth, but apparently the skaters think that at least they'll give us a start.
This will be the new site for the skateboard park. Mayor Tom Padgett agreed with the centralized location of the park, but said that he had other plans for the location.
My personal opinion was that I would prefer to have seen the park in one of the other locations. We had a couple of other locations which were more central city, but some of them people felt were too far north for the people from the south and the west sides of town. Some they thought were too far south for people on the north side of town, and they thought at least that was a more central location.
The park will be free to the public, and the skaters will skate at their own risk, as the park will not be staffed by employees. In Sioux City, Aaron Lenig, KLIF TV News.
The Dorothy Pico Nature Center is working harder to allow more people access to its resources during the summer season. Reporter Molly Ramsey has that story.
As summer's wave of sunlight approaches, the Dorothy Pico Nature Center is extending their hours to give Sioux City residents more opportunities to visit. Naturalist Dawn Chapman says that summertime is the Nature Center's busiest season.
We have a lot of increased visitors that come in the summertime, coming out in the evening with the daylight being extended, the hours. So we're hoping that we catch more of those people that want to come out after work and bring their families and are able to come out and hike the trails. Normally during our winter hours we don't have as high as a visitation, so we're increasing that during the good time of year when people want to be outside so they can get a chance to see the building and the facility.
The Nature Center's name was recently changed from the Lois Ridge Nature Center to the Dorothy Picote Nature Center due to a monetary donation from the Picote family. Chapman says that although the name has changed, the Nature Center is still top of the line at entertaining both adults and kids.
The Dorothy Pico Nature Center has a variety of different hands-on exhibits in our Junior League Legacy Gallery, and with that we have a variety of animal furs and skulls and different feathers and lots of other hands-on touching things, tactile things for the kids to explore. They can also look at some of our live animals we have here. We have some resident animals, some snakes and some turtles and some fish, some bees, and those are real popular exhibits. Many of our exhibits are centered around the Les Hills theme, so even though our name has changed, we still have the same mission in that we're educating people and about the Les Hills and their importance and how we can help protect them.
During the summertime rush, the Nature Center seems to be the place to go for field trips. Chapman says that the tour guides spend most of their time with kids showing off the Nature Center's beautiful resources.
They always love to get out and hike, and are always wishing they can go more on the trails. And they also like the live animals and really enjoy that.
Due to the nice summer weather and the variety of things to do indoors and outdoors at the Dorothy Picote Nature Center, many different age groups are attracted here. Molly Ramsey, KLIF TV News.
What is it like to have your high school diploma before having your driver's license? Julie Weeder has a story of a remarkable Sioux City North High School senior who did just that.
The bread, but what else?
Sioux City North High senior David Stavens isn't your ordinary high school student preparing for graduation. Although David has taken his ACTs and SATs and has chosen a college to attend next fall, he is still an extraordinary youth. David is only 15.
It's something that I've always been really interested in and wanted to do. It really kind of boils down to that. I'm really excited about being accelerated and having the opportunity to have some more time in college and to have gotten through high school quickly. And in that regard, I'm very excited to do that, and also because next year I'll have such an opportunity to see what's out there and expand my kind of my borders a little bit quicker than I would if I stayed an extra 3 years here. And for that reason, I'm very excited.
Stavens skipped 3 grades in grade school to accelerate toward an early graduation. David's advanced placement English teacher, Nancy Schulenberger, has been one of many teachers to notice David's talents.
He likes very much to push himself. The first test that we took, he didn't get as high a grade as he wanted. He got an A, but it wasn't as high as he wanted, so he just went to work and decided that from now on he was going to be at the very, very top of the curve, and he stayed there the rest of the year, which is, of course, to his credit. He wasn't always the very top grade, but he certainly made sure that he was up in the competition.
David is ranked first in his class and will attend Princeton in the fall. David said he has enjoyed his years at North, although he is much younger than his classmates.
I think that I imagine there might be some things that other people would say, well, I mean, he's really missing this, but by them not having skipped 3 grades, there are also things that I can say, well, they're never going to, the other people aren't going to really have a chance to do this either. And therefore, I think that, I mean, there are some things that I'm missing, but I'm sure that there are also some things that I'm doing that other people might not have the same opportunity to do, so.
Some people may think that Stavens is missing out on his youth, but David said he knew a long time ago that he chose this path and where this path would take him. David Stavens is Sioux City's own Doogie Howser. Julie Weeder, KLIF News.
A Sioux City woman has been sharing her passion for the art of dance for more than 25 years now. KLIF reporter Christina Davalar recently visited the Sandy Keene School of Dance and has this report.
Some say it's every little girl's dream to be a ballerina. For the past 25 years, Sandy Keene has been making those dreams a reality for her students. Sandy says her passion for dance began when she was 3 years old. When she got older, got married, and had children, she decided it was important for her children to learn the same dance skills as she did.
A friend of mine asked me to teach her daughter, so I started in our home in the basement for the first year, and then I moved to a location at near town, downtown. We've done some social dancing, but I don't do a lot of that. And the adults, it's mainly ballet, jazz, and tap. And then I also used to teach at the senior center too, but I did that for 15 years and retired from that. I'm slowing down a little bit, and then I used to have the heel and drill team too, but for 15 years, for 16 years, and I retired from that also.
Running a dance school keeps Sandy on her toes, literally and figuratively. Sandy not only teaches dance, but handles the book work as well.
Well, just making sure that finances are paid and that enough finances come in. So, I mean, it's like any other business. You worry about keeping the place open. And for 25 years, there's been good and bad, so.
Do you wear any special costumes?
Yes.
Can you tell me about some of your favorite costumes?
Well, we have to have a cat costume for this one, our ballet dance to the waltzing cats, and
Can you tell me what that looks like?
It's a white cat outfit.
Cool.
And we might wear face makeup.
Yes, for our 25th anniversary recital, we're going to have some former students come back that have been also assistants here at the studio. And we're going to do a little bit of like river dance. We're going to attempt at it. So it's called Cry of the Celts, and there are 5 adult dancers that are the principal dancers, and then we are going to have the students from way back or whenever come back, as many as possible, and do like 3 or 4 steps of it to join us and be part of it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Keene says one of her greatest rewards is teaching the children of her former students. Christina Davalar, KLIF TV News.
A new attraction will be added to the Marion Center at Trinity Heights this summer. Reporter Kenny Keene visited the center off Floyd Boulevard and has this report.
Trinity Heights is primarily known for its 30-foot statue of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Later this month, however, the statue of Mary will be joined on the hill by another statue, the Sacred Heart of Jesus. According to the executive director of Trinity Heights, Beanie Cooper, the statue should help bring more visitors to the site.
Well, it's really been an interesting phenomenon to watch the growth of the whole project. Back in 1993, when we first set the statue of Mary, we were probably, a rough estimate because we didn't do counting back in those days, but we were probably attracting 3,000 or 4,000 people a year that would come up, both local and visitors and that type of thing. Let's say in 1995, we were drawing somewhere in the neighborhood of 20,000 visitors. Last year we had, every state in the union was here, somebody from, we had them sign in, and we attracted 51,000 some odd people. and 38 countries, foreign countries. Now, the Sacred Heart of Jesus statue gives you an ecumenical look that draws just that many more people. The project is ecumenical in its conception, even though it's Catholic in its from theology standpoint. We want to be a place for everybody.
Dave Lamphere is the man who was commissioned as the sculptor for both statues, and he only had a short rest from his work after he finished the statue of Mary.
Dale Lamphere, a relatively popular sculptor over in the South Dakota area, in Wyoming area, lives out at Sturgis, was found and commissioned to do the first statue of the Blessed Virgin. That was right around in 1990. It took him 2 years to do it. It was delivered in December of 1993 and placed up here on what we call the Mound of Mary. Within a year, we commissioned him to do the Sacred Heart of Jesus statue, which is to be 33 foot tall and stainless steel, weigh about 11 ton, and he's very close to completion of that, and as we are getting close to completion of the area where we'll put it.
The spot behind me will be the future site of the Sacred Heart of Jesus statue. The statue is nearing completion and should be placed here later this month. Kenny Keene, KLIF TV News, Sioux City.
Next, we'll take a look at how one man finds a way during work to help educate and inform local youth. For more on this story, here's reporter Nathan Cass.
The Sergeant Floyd Welcome Center sign may be deceiving. There are many other items other than just postcards and coffee cups. The top 2 floors were given to the city for whatever they deemed useful. They decided to display the city's history, from Native American artifacts to a Lewis and Clark expedition in the building of steamboats on the Missouri River. The favorite exhibit is rumored to be a life-size replica of Sergeant Floyd. Making the exhibits come to life, though, is Welcome Center Supervisor Blair Shequin. Shequin spends a great deal of his spare time working on model ships that used to travel the Missouri.
On the top deck, there are at least 2 riverboat models that I can work on and off up there. I'm also working at home on some special models for some keelboat models. I have a little different type of a job situation. I take my work home with me. I work on what I can here with the tools that we have in our little shop, and then with certain materials, such as the larger models which are wooden, I construct those at home. So there's a number of models under construction.
Shequin thrives on sharing his knowledge of the city's heritage with children that take class trips to the boat.
As part of our presentation for the school kids, we will serve up buffalo jerky and hardtack so they can taste the expedition. We'll have them put on the clothes so they can feel the expedition. We also at times will take a musket out, and after we've demonstrated how flint and steel works and have them help make a fire, we take the concept one step further and show how flint and steel worked for obtaining the food of the expedition, which is by hunting, and we'll even take a musket out back. And of course, everyone likes smoke and noise, and it's always a cheap trick, but the hope always is that 20, 30 years from now, they'll remember a visit to this facility.
One plan he has this summer for the Welcome Center is working with disadvantaged youth.
A major activity, which just really we were committed to this week, was in becoming involved with, say, disadvantaged young people, providing a summer project, and that will be something rather unique in that we're going to be building boats, full-size canoes here on the riverfront, down between here and our sim arena. So we are getting back to the river.
Though high and dry now, Blair Shequin still finds a use for this old boat, a rescue boat for today's youth. Nathan Cass, KLIF News, Sioux City, Iowa. After nearly 30 years at the same location, a Sioux City music store is moving to a unique site. Reporter Kristen Hansen has the details.
Uncle John's CDs and Tapes, which got its name from a Grateful Dead song when it opened in the 70s, will soon be moving from their West 3rd Street location to downtown Sioux City on historic 4th Street. Uncle John manager Mindy Brown says the move came about with the change of ownership of the store.
When the new owner bought the store, She really felt this store had a large history here already, and I think everything has to change and grow if it's going to survive. And with the new owner coming in, you know, the new blood, as it were, it just seemed appropriate to try to take it to the next step. I think Historic 4th Street's going to develop into something pretty neat. They certainly needed something down there to get a lot of people in, and we felt like we could, you know, contribute that. But it was something that the original owner also had often tossed around in his mind, that he would, in fact, the very building we're moving into, he had thought if he ever were to move, that's where he'd want to go. And when the new owner expressed that same idea, it really just made a lot of sense.
Besides moving to a different location, Brown says there will also be some new additions to the store.
There's going to be a coffee bar. It's going to serve all organic coffees and teas and nifty things like that, and going to have music, obviously. We're going to have some live music. We're going to have some theme nights and just a lot of things going on, a lot of more activities kind of going on around the store than just being a business open, you know, to sell you CDs. We're going to be doing things to promote different things. New artwork. We've commissioned a new mural, like the mural on the ceiling. The same artist who did that is doing a brand new mural for us. This mural ended in about 1976, and we're kind of bringing that up to date. So it's going to be all the same things that we have here now, but just more.
Uncle John's CDs and tapes will soon be moving here on Historic 4th Street. New additions include a coffee bar and live entertainment. The move is expected to be completed by the middle of May. Kristen Hansen, KLIF, TV News, Sioux City.
Thanks for tuning in. You've been watching In Touch. I'm Nathan Cass.
And I'm Julie Weeder.